Hey there, Kevin. Happy Monday. You will not believe what happened to me this weekend. I was visiting a friend's house, and I was so excited that I accidentally called her grandmother, Mom.
Hi Chloe, good to see you. Oh wow, that sounds like a classic mix-up. Meeting a friend's family can definitely make anyone feel a bit anxious, but it usually makes for a funny memory later.
It really does, Kevin. I felt my face turn completely red.
Well, Chloe, you are going to love today's novel excerpt because the exact same thing happens to one of our characters. Let's listen to see how they handle the awkwardness.
Chapter 9. This is my mom, Chloe Quinn. Why are you calling her mother? Kevin Carter's mother, Mary Carter, could not process what was happening at this moment. Her brain felt like it was overheating, and she looked completely stunned. As for Kevin's father, along with his uncles, aunts, and the younger cousins, they all stared at each other with wide eyes filled with utter bewilderment. The atmosphere was incredibly eerie. After a short silence, Mary Carter, who had an enthusiastic and somewhat humorous personality, broke the strange silence.
Haha, welcome, welcome. How should I address you, young student?
Mary Carter spoke with great excitement. She thought to herself,
Is my son bringing a young girlfriend home to meet me? He just graduated and already brought a girl home. What a good lad, he's quite capable.
It was lucky that Chloe Quinn's father did not know about this. Otherwise, he would probably say the same thing to Kevin.
What a good lad.
Although it was the same sentence, the feeling was completely different depending on the person and the context. Chinese culture is truly deep and profound. Mary Carter grabbed Chloe Quinn's hand. Her enthusiasm was a bit over the top as she looked the girl up and down. She thought the girl was very beautiful. She glanced at Kevin and thought,
Good lad, you have great taste. As expected of my son, haha.
Kevin's father was sitting with the uncles drinking wine. He also gave Kevin a thumbs up and a meaningful look as if saying,
Son, you're not simple. You're much better than your old man was back in the day.
Mary Carter looked at Kevin and asked,
Son, quickly introduce us. What is this female classmate's name?
Kevin replied,
Mom, her name is Chloe Quinn. You can just call her Chloe.
Chloe, what a cute name. The person is cute and the name is even cuter.
Cute. If one were to talk about looks, Chloe Quinn's style was indeed very pure and cute. That was the truth, but her personality, it didn't match the word cute at all. Especially when she stayed silent, she looked like a quiet and adorable girl. But as soon as she opened her mouth, the image shattered and her humorous vibe came out. However, because Kevin's entire family was present, Chloe restrained herself a little. She did not reveal her loud and carefree personality. At this moment, she was very nervous and her palms were sweating. Kevin looked at Chloe and said,
Chloe, let me introduce you. This is my mother.
Perhaps because she was too nervous, Chloe subconsciously looked at Mary Carter and said,
Mother.
Kevin was speechless.
This is my mom. Why are you calling her mother?
Chloe quickly reacted.
Oh yes, hello, Auntie.
Mary Carter couldn't help but laugh. This little girl was quite interesting.
Come, let me introduce you further. This is my father.
Kevin continued the introduction. He even teased Chloe on purpose, thinking,
You won't call him father this time, will you?
Chloe bumped Kevin's shoulder with her own.
Kev, don't mess with me. You're trying to make me lose face on purpose, aren't you?
Because she was too nervous and didn't know what to say, she tried to break the awkwardness of calling Mary mother by finding something to talk about.
Uncle, how old are you this year? You look so young.
Uncle is 42 this year.
And what is your honorable last name, Uncle?
Log.
Kevin's father almost couldn't react, but he cooperated and said,
I believe my last name is Carter.
What a coincidence. Kev, your dad has the same last name as you.
Chloe no longer knew what she was saying. She was so nervous that her words were incoherent. It had to be said that Chloe was being incredibly silly at this moment. It was Kevin's mother who stepped in.
Everyone, don't just stand there. Kevin and his classmate have arrived, so let's begin. I propose we all raise our glasses to celebrate the successful end of our Kevin's final year of school.
Also, our son's studies have been very intense this year. He has worked hard. Children these days have a lot of academic pressure.
Kevin's parents truly cared for him. Everyone raised their wine glasses and took a sip. Chloe wished she could find a hole in the ground to crawl into. What was she just saying? It was so embarrassing.
Chloe, eat more. Don't be polite. Just treat this as your own home.
Mary Carter sat next to Chloe and kept putting food into her bowl, being very warm and welcoming. Although her son introduced Chloe as just a classmate, Mary did not believe it at all. If she were just an ordinary classmate, how could she stay at a boy's house? They must be in a relationship. Now that Kevin had graduated, Mary was absolutely not against him dating. In fact, she fully supported it.
Okay, thank you, Auntie.
Mary joked.
I still think it sounded better when you called me mother just now.
She even said that if Chloe didn't mind, she really could call her mother. Chloe's face turned completely red. This was not appropriate, and she had already embarrassed herself enough. Kevin leaned over and whispered into Chloe's ear.
What's inappropriate about it, Chloe? Aren't we brothers? Your mom is my mom, and my mom is your mom. We're bros, right?
Hearing Kevin's words, which seemed to make some sense, Chloe was momentarily dazed by his logic. As the meal went on, the adults talked about family matters. Even though they were one family, they all had their own jobs and lives, so opportunities to gather were rare. Having dinner together was a chance to catch up on many things. Kevin and Chloe sat together. Kevin had eaten enough and was about 80% full. He didn't want to eat too much in the evening. He took out his phone to look for any good investment projects. He planned to use all the money in his card to buy into an investment. First, he would multiply his principal several times, and then he could use that money to start a career. Having returned to the past and bound to a system, starting a career to let his parents live a good life early was as easy as playing a game. Kevin looked directly for an investment project that was glowing green, meaning it was crashing hard. It was obvious that buying this would lead to a total loss. But it didn't matter. Kevin now had one use of the investment return value skill. This meant that as long as he made a trade, he could predict the return. He checked the return value for this project. It was a long-term loser that no one was buying. However, it didn't matter because before long, the price would skyrocket. Kevin would earn the money all by himself and didn't have to worry about anyone else getting a share.
I'll buy this one.
As soon as Kevin decided, he transferred all the money from his card and went all in on the project. Then he used the prediction skill.
Ding, this project will be affected by the international situation in the near future, and the price will skyrocket. Buying during this low period will yield a net profit of 200 times the principal.
Seeing Kevin holding his phone and purchasing this investment project, Chloe, sitting next to him, had a look of pure shock on her face.
And we are back. What a chaotic and heartwarming family dinner. Chloe, can you give our listeners a quick summary of what happened in this chapter?
I would love to, Kevin. So, Kevin Carter brings Chloe Quinn to his family home to meet his parents, Mary and David Carter. But poor Chloe Quinn is so incredibly worried and nervous that her palms are sweating.
Yes, she was under a lot of pressure. And what was the funniest mistake she made, Chloe?
Oh my goodness, Kevin. Because she was panicking, she subconsciously called Kevin's mother Mom. Then, trying to fix her mistake, she asked Kevin's dad what his last name was, completely forgetting that he shares the same last name as Kevin.
That's right, Chloe. It was a very silly moment, but Kevin's parents were incredibly warm and welcoming. At the end of the meal, Kevin uses his special system on his phone to invest all his money into a crashing business project because he predicts it will bring a massive profit later, which leaves Chloe Quinn totally shocked.
Wow, Kevin. Personally, I felt so much sympathy for Chloe Quinn in this chapter. I know exactly how it feels when your brain completely stops working because you want to make a good impression. But Kevin's mom, Mary, seems so fun and sweet.
I agree, Chloe. Having a supportive family around makes a huge difference when you are trying to build a career or start a business.
Vocabulary breakdown. 1. Nervous, adjective. Meaning, feeling worried, anxious, or afraid about something that is happening or going to happen. Kevin is being nervous, the same as being scared.
That's a great question, Chloe. It is similar, but we usually use nervous for everyday situations like taking a big test, speaking in public, or meeting new people. Your heart might beat fast and your hands might sweat, just like Chloe Quinn in the story.
Oh, I see. Like, Kevin was very nervous before his big job interview yesterday.
Exactly, Chloe, perfect example.
Synonym, anxious. Antonym, calm. Too embarrassing, adjective. Meaning, making you feel shy, uncomfortable, or ashamed in front of other people. So, when Chloe Quinn wanted to find a hole in the floor to hide in, that was because the situation was embarrassing.
Spot on, Chloe. When we do something silly and worry that people are laughing at us, we call that situation embarrassing.
Let me try an everyday context. It was so embarrassing when Chloe dropped her entire lunch tray on the floor.
That is a wonderful example, Chloe. We have all been there.
Synonym, awkward. Antonym, proud. Three-profit noun. Meaning, the extra money that you make in business or an investment after you pay for all the costs. Kevin, how does someone make a profit exactly?
Well, Chloe, let's use a simple analogy. If you buy a guitar for $100 and sell it to a friend for $150, the extra $50 is your profit. In the story, Kevin Carter expects to make a huge net profit from his new project.
Oh, that makes total sense. Kevin's new lemonade stand made a huge profit this summer because it was so hot outside.
Brilliant, Chloe, you nailed it.
Synonym, gain. Antonym, loss.
That brings us to the end of today's lesson. You did an amazing job today, Chloe.
Thanks, Kevin. I had so much fun. Before we leave, here is our question of the day for all our wonderful listeners out there. Have you ever said something completely silly or embarrassing because you were nervous?
We want to hear all your funny stories. If today's episode brought a smile to your face, show us some love. High-five that like button, subscribe to our channel so you never miss a chapter, and drop your answers in the comments below.
Yes, don't be polite, just treat this comment section as your own home. See you in the next episode, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep practicing.